Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to speak about transitions. I'm going to merge them. I'm going to speak about offensive and defensive. Of course, they are different. However, you cannot detach them from all the other moments. Because, of course, if you are in offensive organization, most likely you're going to end up with a defensive transition. On the other side, if you are on a defensive organization, most likely you're going to end up in an offensive transition. So they all together, and that's why in the past episodes I spoke to you about merging everything, aligning everything, preparing your game model to all the moments, depending on the areas, the space, the thirds, the channels, whatever you want to call them. But separate the match, separate the game model, and then understand that within the match everything will be together. They will happen one after the other, and your team needs to be ready for that. So where do I want to start, man? I want to start by explaining what is the key, what are the more important things, what are the key insights about the moments of transition. The moments of transition, they are normally recognized, described as moments where there's a lack of organization. If you think about a build up, and then you can, of course, you are defending, the other team is building up, and they are trying to provide maximum width, some movements of deepness as well. So they are trying to get the elements of width, depth involved within their offensive model. And you, as a defender, you are trying to concentrate your defenders in specific target areas to press, or the principles of play with specific triggers. If you recover the ball, the other team is not balanced. They are not as balanced as they will be if they were in a defensive organization, in a comfortable moment where there's a goal kick and they have time to reset, get their lines together, and then start pressing from a specific area. So that is a key element, because you need to understand that within transitions, the element of disorganization will be most likely very close to that. Once you understand this, you start delving into the thoughts of, okay, so if I am defending, that's amazing because I'm getting the other team disorganized. But if it's on the opposite side, if I am on the build up stage now, the other team is organized, I'm trying to disorganize them by providing width and depth and movements and so on. With the movements, disorganization, chaotic moments will come, and that means that I'll be in a position of danger if I lose the ball. So how are you going to balance these elements? And that's why I've always said to you that you cover one side, and which in this case will be you provide more options, you provide more movements. On the other side, you get your feet out of the blanket because now you are more disorganized. How are you going to balance these? This is the game. This is the interesting element about football. So once you understand this, now you start understanding that this is a key moment. I normally define especially the offensive transition. That moment, those seconds where you recover the ball, they are almost impossible to defend, because if you make the right movement, if you make the right choice, if you make the right pass, that will be very hard for the other team to recover, especially when you have moments of offensive organization and then you pass to defensive organization. The other team starts to attack massively and then you recover the ball immediately. Those moments are super dangerous. Some of the goals, or majority of the goals, will come from those moments and not from offensive organization itself. Now, where to attack? If you are on offensive transition, the question is where to attack. Where is the space? What are the elements that you're gonna, the players that you're gonna position in specific places, so that not only they help you when you are defending, but also when you recover the ball, where do you want the ball to go? Where they need to be? What are the elements that you want to add to your game? And those elements go from, imagine there's a crossing and your defensive line is inside the box. Where where are the areas that you want your defenders to mainly get the ball to? So a lot of the times, professional football, youth football, this is even more common. You will see that the defenders will take the ball for the enter of the box. penalty area, to the center, because the normal movement for a header will be just to get the ball there. That is a very dangerous area to get the ball to, because of course, if there's midfielders there from the opposite team, they can easily select. They have the goal right in front of them. They can just select the place they want to get the ball to, and if they have quality, they'll get the ball there. It will be very hard for the defender's goalkeeper to defend that ball. So it starts there. Where do you want your defenders to get the ball to? Is it to the diagonal? You want them to get the ball to the other side? You want them to get the ball back? It really depends on how you see football and where you want them to get the ball. Now, it's important, if you want them to get the ball there, that someone is there. So those are the elements then that you need to think about when you think about your game model. On the other side, defending where you want to protect first. I'm gonna show you in a minute where how I was doing this in my moments as a coach, how I thought about where I wanted to press, what is the areas that I want to cover first, what are the roles and responsibilities regarding if you are closer to the ball or a little bit away from where the ball is. What is your job? What is your role and your responsibility in that moment? And how to protect, which area we're going to protect first. What is the role from the goalkeeper to the striker to the ones that are closer to the ball? What are their role? Anticipating scenarios, it's an element of very, very or greater importance in this moment, because of course, if you are defending, again, you want to provide balance to the team, and that's where the principles of defensive organization will come, as of course compactness, balance, and so on, coverage, of course, and pressing. So the elements of defending will come there as well, but then offensively, what are the preferred positions? Where do you want to attack? Again, the space and so on. Is it through a pass? Is it through running? Because again, the profile of the players will have a decisive impact on where or how you want to approach this moment. And again, once you segment this and you understand exactly by space, by third, by channels, what you want to do at your game model, aligning that with the player's profile that you have in front of you, now it's time for you to integrate this within your training sessions. I have these discussions regularly, where if my game model says that once we recover the ball, I want to make a clean pass, I just want to take the ball out of that congested area because we just recovered the ball there. I want to find someone that is free, that has time now to move ahead with the game, go forwards either by running or another progressive pass. Now you need to merge this into your sessions. If you are then in the sessions doing possession-based game, let's say you are doing a possession-based game, and within that possession game, the team that recovers the ball, what do they have to do? Are they going to attack a goal? Are they having now superiority because you have neutral players joining, or is it through small goals where they just need to make a pass? So they need to make the pass to the coach. These key elements, if you are planting a seed in the training session that is different from the things that you want on at the game, it doesn't make sense. You are sending different message to the players, and this will create confusion. And then of course, in the session, you are saying, okay, you recovered the ball, now you need to go and run through a target area. Amazing. But then in the match, once they recover the ball, they start running because that's what they are used to, and that's what you are asking in the training session. And then you are saying, just make a small pass, play simple. It's just confusion, so this is the element of integrating your idea, your game model, your preferred way, your principles of play. This is where you need to integrate them into your training sessions, where a realistic situation will come in the match, and whatever the feedback that you are providing in the training session, immediately, once you say the same thing in the match, the players will clearly understand. And you have these buzzwords, either by passing, each one of us, you have different ones. I used to say that if I cannot see you, I cannot pass you, especially with the small ones, just for them to understand what is required from them to be a passing option or clean the game, make a clean pass. I used to use a lot of these buzzwords just for them to immediately trigger the seed that I've planted on the training sessions, and that will come to mind after that. Everyone got the message, and they knew exactly what to do. So it's always the same thing. You've seen by now, and this is why I won't even go to set pieces, or I won't even delve into much more detail, because now you understand the layers of details that you need to get to as a coach. And again, you need to and you understand that this is not only about aligning the departments, but also, just as the departments, they need to be aligned within the, the framework, the vision of the club, the game model, theoretic that you want, a basic thing, just a guideline for where you're going to start delving as a coach. Now as a coach, you need to align everything, players profile, training sessions, into the idea that you have your vision for game model, how you want your team to play. So without further discussions, let's now move to my my game model, the way I used to do things. Probably I would adapt this a little bit more today, but 10 years have passed, so we always evolving, because game model is not a closed document, it's always an open camp.
Okay, without further ado, I will show you two examples of the ways of pressing. In this case, was defensive transition. I'm going to bring you both defensive transition, where to be after we lose the possession of the football, who's going to cover, who's going to be not only pressing, but also who's going to provide the coverage, who's going to be providing the compactness, etc. So in these two elements, they are in different areas of the game. As I've mentioned to you multiple times, divide the what you want in specific areas. Segment the game into what happens on the first third in the different moments of the game, then the second third, and then of course the offensive third. You need to, once you understand these and defining if the ball is lost in the central corridor or on the sides, the behaviors will be different, because different people, different players will be interacting with the match. In this case, we have the ball lost on the central corridor, and but the ball is going towards our left side. The behaviors of the two center midfielders, which in this case, of course, I was playing in almost like a 3-5 formation. I would create a line of five offensively. The behaviors of these two players were key for them to all the rest of the team to develop into whatever we were trying to do. But then you also have three elements that are very important: the two closest to the ball, and then the one that is furthest from the ball. So five players here selected, they were very important for the way that I wanted to react if we lose the ball on that side. The behaviors then become very clear. Three players press the ball, and then the other ones, they need to get closer, providing stability. Most important will be to try to get closer to whoever is close to you as much as possible, just to make sure that if the ball goes through a clean pass to that player, we have someone to cover that player, almost like individual marking in that specific moment. And then you can see from the moment before that the player that is further from the ball was the winger on the opposite side. The job was to come back to the defensive line, and now we are closer to what turns out to be a 4-4-2 formation defensively. So this element of getting together, understanding that the team needs to be compact. And here I was bringing the one of the principles of defensive organization, which is compactness. But first, because compactness is the last one, first we need to select who's going to press, who's going to cover, who is providing balance. And here there's a lot of players providing balance, but then the compactness needs to be there. Lastly, the importance of the goalkeeper. If the ball is towards one side, again, I want the goalkeeper to be positioned on that side. The second example, we have the ball a little bit more backwards. The line of five is still yet to be defined offensively. However, I wanted some behaviors, and this is where the line of five was clear for the players. The ball goes to the winger. I always wanted the diagonal movement, either from the midfield, the offensive midfielder or the striker, they need to stretch the defensive line. So once this movement comes, of course, the defensive line, they need to come to provide more balance to the team so that we are compact as well. But I want them to be very close to where the ball was, especially the two center backs. As you can see, one is almost like individual marking, the other one was a little bit more not behind, because of course you have the offside here concerns, but I want them to be closer again to even the midfielders. You can see I want them closer to the players closer to the ball, so that in case they recover the ball, at least we have some of their players marked and as an option for us to press immediately. The objective, now turning to the offensive, of course, the objective of this movement, this case was the offensive midfielder, is of course to force the other team to come and be a little bit more challenged with the movements, and eventually with one movement on depth. I want them to also come with them and come with our players and provide that space that now the striker could enjoy. The winger on the opposite side, the other attacking midfielder, their role was to be inside the box immediately. Now, these three players, four players, sorry, as I was mentioning to you, their role is very important in terms of being close to whoever is closer to the ball on their side. So the defender, the center back being closer to the striker, the two center midfielders being closer to their midfielders. And again, just like the example that I've shown you before, here the defender on the opposite side closer to the winger. Most likely the winger will come down anyways if there's a crossing, and that player will enjoy a little bit more space and freedom to go ahead, eventually to sit just outside the box for an eventual second ball if we ever go to a cross. But this was the most important things that I wanted to bring from this example.
We came to an end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps you when you are thinking about your game model. I hope this also helps you because this was the last one when we are speaking about integrating technical sessions or your training sessions within whatever you have into elements of tactical organization, game model, principles of play, triggers, moments of the game, everything. This was the last one. I will not delve into set pieces. To be honest, I think there's a lot of people now discussing stuff. Coaching staff are growing because you have now people specifically targeted to speak about and train about set pieces. So there's probably someone much more able to help you on that. I think, of course, it becomes a very important element defensively and offensively, and the moment that you need to work and pay attention to. Um, but I don't want to bother you more with my ideas as well. I think there's definitely people that are more capable to teach you relevant things about set pieces than me. I would, as an advice, I would just say to you, just include everything from throw-ins in different areas of the field, how you want the throw-in to be, to each area of the body. Those are elements, details that you might want to consider besides movements and corners and so on and so on. Even if it's a goal kick, second balls, don't think only about where the ball is going, but also how you're going to protect the areas, the surroundings of whoever is going to be responsible for the first ball. Now, on the next episodes, we're going to continue our journey into the management of a football club. And we're going to speak about research and development, the space that data is now occupying into football, and we're gonna finalize in the next four episodes this episode or this series about football club management. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need anything, just go back. The themes are very clear every time that you see the titles of each video. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you think this is relevant, share with people that need this kind of information. And if you have anything to tell me, just comment, leave your contacts. I'm more than happy to help you on your journey as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.